We setting a time limit on ourselves?
We're going to try to be quick.
Should I get another beer?
Nah. You need another beer, we fucked up.
That's where I come in.
Well, if
Well, you can be the bitch boy.
well, Neil, if you're going that way, I could use another beer. All right, dry run.
So what do we decide? What are we're calling this, like before and after? Is that what we're doing? Get the mic. Just make sure you're talking close enough to it.
How do I know?
Because we can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jonathan and Hodge here. We're going to try something out. We're doing a little before and after. We're going to do some takes on the MMA pay-per-view tonight. We're not going to say the name of it. And we're just going to see how we do. We'll come back after the fights. We'll watch ourselves and probably make fun of ourselves. So
Make fun of you because I'm going to be right.
We'll see. So
wait. We got to start off with Chuck Liddell's in the UFC Hall of Fame now.
Okay. I mean, that's true.
That's a given, right?
Yes.
But they have to hang up a picture like previous to 2008, otherwise it's going to fall off.
Okay. That was what that's how much you came with?
I wanted your reaction to that one. Perfect.
Okay. that's how we're starting. That was pre-2000. Chuck Liddell is his favorite fighter of all time, and he's got Chuck Liddell jokes for days because of how much he loves him and how much it pains him the way things are now. I came
18 out of 20 wins by knockout, but 7 losses.
I came after the Chuck Liddell thing was pretty much over. I think that was almost like the first fight we watched at your house.
It was over. But he's in the Hall.
He got knocked out by somebody with a broken arm that fight.
Yeah, Richard Franklin.
I mean, I'm just saying. So sorry, I wasn't on the people that have watched UFC longer than me probably.
Yeah, but see, I got the bad jokes out of the way, so we're good.
You got more of them. I'm sure you do.
Oh, plenty. Where are we starting in the card?
So we're gonna skip past the early prelims. To be honest with you, we're a little late here. They're already underway. I saw some girl got bloodied, and there's some guys beating the crap out of each other right now. But we want to get this in before the prelims started, which is only 3 minutes from now. So we're going to just jump right in. Start off with Roxanne Modafferi versus Maycee Barber. So you got the Happy Warrior versus the Future, number 7 versus number 9. To be honest with you, I don't see this as being too much of a fight. I love me some Roxanne. She's a great personality. She's been great on the TV shows. She seems such a sweetheart. Totally buy her dinner somewhere and just talk to her about her passion for the sport. But as far as seeing her win this fight, she's, I guess, kind of a gatekeeper in the women's division.
That's exactly what it is. Roxanne's being thrown another up-and-comer. This Barber's 7-0. Roxanne's got heart for days. I think she'll be in the fight till the end, but her striking's just never been there. She's not going to keep up with Maycee Barber. Maycee Barber is going to tag her often. I'm going to say second round stoppage. Only hope Roxanne has is to drag her to the floor at some point. It is early in Barber's career. She's 7-0. So I don't know a lot about her takedown defense, but I know that her hands come fast. So
I mean, I kind of see it the same way. I'd be surprised if she gets out of the second. Again, heart for days, loves the sport, loves what she does, and she teaches kids. Like, how can you not like Roxy? Like, she's awesome, but she's not going to win this fight. It's going to be stopped early. Maycee Barber is going to go through it. We're going to see a couple of gatekeeper fights in this thing.
Yeah, there's a few on this card. I just want the promotion to keep paying Roxanne. Just keep her around.
Yep.
Let her lose. I think she's 23-15 at this point. But her fights are never boring. They're never boring.
Because she's a submission gal and she's game. So on our scale,
she's an inch away from taking your arm home with her.
Yeah.
At all times.
So on the parking lot scale, how much would you pay to watch this fight in a parking lot? I'd pay exactly $0.
I wouldn't pay anything. I wouldn't pay anything because I know enough about Barber that it's a murder death kill.
And-
I don't see any way.
And Roxy's the type of gal that she's gonna see two people across the bar having an argument, and she's gonna come over and disarm it. So parking lot fights right
Yeah,
on her
yeah,
neck. So
no,
$0 on the parking lot.
Yeah,
scale.
it's gonna stop before it ever starts. But
Moving on to gatekeeper fights, I feel like we've got a couple of those again. You've got a 9-1-0 Sadiq Yusuf going up against Andre File, 19-6-0. Neither of them are ranked. We've seen File quite a bit.
did we see him in Wichita?
I honestly don't remember.
I feel like we saw him on a card. I don't know. Maybe not.
We've been to Wichita. We've been to Kansas City. We've seen some fights there. And, without going back and look at it, neither of us can remember who all the names were. It's kind of overwhelming when you're there in person. You don't realize till you go back and watch it on the ESPN Plus replay. You're like, oh, I knew that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
It's just, you're there and you're taking it all in. It comes at you real quick. Yeah. Although when Junior Dos Santos walks in the building, you definitely
knew
know
that.
Who that is.
Yeah, you knew when that happened. Yeah, that for sure.
So who do you like in this fight?
Well, Feely's had more fights, and he's got a longer reach. Both are pretty aggressive on the striking and avoid takedowns well. If Feely can switch his game up a little bit and go for more of a takedown, he could steal some rounds. And I think it's going to be a stand and strike, and it'll be a TKO by Yusuf. I'm not counting Feely out. I wouldn't bet on this one way or the other, because I do think Feely could get it to the ground, which would be interesting, and if it gets a decision. But Yusuf's got some busy hands, so I think he puts it on him and takes him out in the second.
We've got a situation in the UFC right now where there's a lot of fighters out of Nigeria that are really good.
Yeah.
And I don't really know enough about like what the situation is, whether they're training there and getting discovered or whether they've all kind of come over in a pipeline. I'm sure I could look it up, but it's
I'm
kind
not
of
sure.
beyond my interest at this point. But there, you look at the picture and you look like, okay, there's one guy who's a killer and another guy who definitely has the tattoos to make you think he's a killer.
Yeah.
But the physique doesn't quite look the same. I feel like, again, this is 9-1-0, young Nigerian guy that's going to come in there, and the question's going to be, is he going to make the right decisions?
Correct.
If he makes the right decisions, he'll end it early. If he doesn't, it'll be maybe one of those decisions we come back later and be like, oh, the judges screwed that up, because you know how they like to do that.
Well, this fight has the makings to be a snorer, too. I mean, I could see just a complete stalemate, slapping gloves, back against the fence, slapping gloves. Yusuf given the opportunity, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, so I apologize if I'm not. But Yusuf given the opportunity, I think he can put Feely asleep.
And that's, I think, what most people watching, they're kind of hoping for in an early fight like this. You're hoping to see somebody take a nap and get up and hug each other. All right, parking lot scale again. I got $0 on this. I'm
not excited about watching this tonight, and we already paid for it.
Yeah,
so.
we'll start late and fast forward until we see somebody.
That one might get some. That might be time to go to the bathroom.
Somebody's going to call us casuals on that one. Guess what? That's okay.
Well, I mean, they are. It's 145 pounds. They tend to be exciting, but no. I'm not up on that fight.
So the next fight, moving on, we've got Tim Elliott,
Yeah.
Kansas City's own. Yes. Versus Askar Askarov, who I thought was Jose Aldo when I first looked at the picture. I was like, Jose Aldo versus Tim Elliott on the prelims. That's pretty interesting.
I want to know if you said that right. Whatever.
Askarov.
What do you know about Askarov?
I know from looking at my screen here, his nickname's a Bullet, and he's the number 12 ranked. Other than that, I know he looks like Jose Aldo.
He's 10-0.
He's 10-0, and he's wearing the red shorts, and he's got a name that sounds like he's from Russia, so I'm going to assume that at some point he's gotten to a bus fight with some of the Ukrainian boys.
I thought you were going to say he wrestled a bear.
Well, he's probably done that too. I mean,
we both
like Tim Elliott. We know that this is another one of those. We talk about the gatekeeper fights. This is a guy. Tim Elliott has proven that he's one of those guys that he's got skills, he's got determination, he's polished, but he's never been quite the elite enough level athlete that it's one of those, if you are an elite athlete and you want to show everybody that you've proven that you have the game polished where you can take it to that next level, you go through a guy like Tim Elliott.
Absolutely.
If you don't, Tim Elliott puts you on your ass, and he takes your career.
Well, he's a Kansas City mid-market through and
I mean,
through. All of our teams. This is what we deal with.
that's
We're
the
like we're
deal.
good enough, but we're not quite there. Look, we love Tim Elliott. We know that. He's fighting an undefeated fighter that I don't really know a lot about, but I'm going to assume at 10-0 he hasn't been tested a whole lot.
I just want to know, did he take this picture with his mouthpiece in, or is his teeth really that screwed up?
No, yeah,
It's-
yeah.
So some orthodonture in his future might, I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
he's going to have to win the fight first so he can pay for that.
He needs orthodonture just like I need Weight Watchers.
That's
so,
right.
You know. All right, parking lot sale. I feel like I'm
Well,
a
who are
little
you
more in on
picking?
this.
Are you picking Elliott?
I no, because it's
You
I
can't
think
do it?
all these gatekeeper fights. I feel like the gatekeeper.
I'll take Elliott. I
you're
think
gonna,
Elliott.
you're gonna stick. Look, I like me some Tim Elliott. You know, Kansas City guys.
I bet he loses the first round miserably.
that is quite possible.
But I think he's gonna. I think I'm pulling from a Kansas City guy.
Yeah.
Come on, Tim, get it done.
All right. Well, that's the first
parking
fight.
lot?
That's the first fight we're flipped on.
I don't know. I'd pay $10 to watch Tim Elliott fight. I'll support the hometown guy.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I may not, be pulling a full $20
If he
bill out of
was-
my pocket, but
If he was fighting it,
I'll save the other $10 to buy him a couple rounds
Absolutely.
at the bar. You
Yeah,
know,
if he
$10 to watch him fight in the parking lot, $10 for beer. That's where I'm at with Tim
if
Elliott.
he's fighting in Independence, I'd go watch.
Yeah, well, he probably is.
Yeah, it's coming. It might be coming.
All
Yeah.
right, moving on. So we got Drew Dober
It's
talking
Dober.
about another kind of local guy.
Yep.
Midwest guy. Drew
He's
Dober.
Iowa or Nebraska?
I want to say Nebraska.
I think he's Nebraska.
Another thing shows that we're so well prepared for this that we pulled up the UFC website and we're talking about stuff. We're like, again, who's this Nasrat Hakparest? Know nothing about him. He says he's from Germany. That does not seem like a German name. I failed and dropped out of German in college, so I know what I'm talking about here.
There should be some accents on that name.
He definitely looks, again, talking about lookalikes. That's Kelvin Gastelum if he makes weight. That's what Nasrat
Do we have a
looks like.
photo of Kevin Gastelum making weight?
I don't know if it's ever really existed. At least not when he moved up. He started making
Dober's
it, but-
doubled him up in fights though. Dober's got a lot of action.
I mean, we've seen Drew Dober in person. We've seen him do work, and in this fight, like, again, it's a 29-0 1-0 contest versus 10-2-0. Another gatekeeper deal. This is a card where they're really expecting people to turn in, and they're trying to jumpstart the next generation of people. And that's what really the prelims are for. Some older guys to make money and see if they can keep it going, and some young guys to see if they
can
get a
Dober
chance.
get it done. I don't think Dober gets it done. I think it's being a split decision.
I think Dober's gonna wrestle him into the ground and get it handled.
No, split decision.
And watch it turn out. And people are like, Dober's not even a wrestler. I've seen him in person, and I still couldn't tell.
I will bet you that a USA chant breaks out during that fight.
there very well might be.
And
although I do love some German beer, so.
And I will pay you to take me away from this parking lot.
so we're in the Uber and we're going away from the parking lot.
Yeah,
so again, $0 interest.
I'm not a fan of Dober, but it's cool.
All right, so heading on to the main card.
Yeah, it's down in it.
So what do we got first up here? We got Pettis versus Ferreira. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, Pettis and Ferreira.
All right.
This is a fight. This is. I think this will be
Wait.
the second best fight on the card.
Hold on a second. I don't know why. I think it just times out. I may have to learn how to work this thing.
Beer bitch is in service.
Oh, right on.
Well, we got to get this on camera. You got to throw the beer. Yeah.
Now it's gonna be all shaken up.
All right, we had a little time out. Get the camera reset and get some beers in here.
Technical difficulty. I can't open that now.
It makes for good TV, man.
You might be able to open yours.
We'll see.
This is a fight. Pettis I'd watch Pettis fight a phone book.
So Pettis was part of when we coined the whole parking lot fight.
Yeah, he's one of the guys.
I pay to watch him when it was Pettis versus Who's to the toothpick?
Ben Henderson.
Ben Henderson.
Ben Smooth
We're,
Henderson.
Sitting had some beers at the Twin Peaks, and we're like, man, I would pay those two to fight in this parking lot right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And so Anthony Pettis, I mean, he's taken all my money in the parking lot fight, and I'm in. I wanna watch and see. He's kind of resurrected himself. He had a little time away. He's come back and he's looked
He had a bad
better.
knee injury, right? It was a bad knee
I
injury.
think so.
Yeah, I think that's what held him back. But
People
his
aren't
last
watching
fight,
this-
he looked great.
People aren't watching this because they think we're UFC experts.
Well,
we don't know all this stuff.
What qualifies us to be UFC experts? We pay for the pay-per-views. We know
Yes.
just as much as you do.
Yeah, we just hope to be entertaining and be a couple of jackasses talking.
Well,
while
we
we're
got the
drinking our
jackass.
lattes,
We got
so.
the jackass part done before this ever started.
Yeah, we're just revealing it. So,
I don't think Pettis wins this fight, though.
Okay, give me your reasoning.
He's more of a calculated striker. His dynamics are nuts. I mean, he jumps off cages. He's got spinning stuff. He can connect, but he's a gamer. Diego throws a lot of strikes himself, and I think Diego's going to be the bigger guy. I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100% on what they weighed in at.
Well, I mean, they weighed in at 155.
Well, but I mean, what we're going to walk in
yeah,
at?
what
are we
we're
gonna walk
walking
in
into the
at?
cage, though, is always different. Yes.
But Diego has
does
a
seem to be, for somebody who's actually shorter, seems like he's a bigger fighter.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. And he has a significant output when he fights. If he can stay at range and make Pettis try to pitter-pat him, I think he's got an advantage there with the reach and the striking. And, Pettis fights don't tend to go to the ground. If Diego decides to go there, it could be really interesting. This one has the potential for highlight strikes from both guys.
I mean, yeah, we could see fight of the night coming out of this.
Yeah,
for sure.
this would be my this is one of my two. Well, depending on the main event, this is one of my three that would be like, this is a fight of a night.
Okay, so
I think it's gonna
fight of the night. You like Ferreira?
I like Diego in a controversial split decision because
Okay.
I think it's going to be I think he's going to control the center of the cage, and I think he's going to get way too many points for that, which we've seen over and over and over in the last couple cards. And I think Pettis is just too calculated with his strikes. I don't think he's going to let his hands go enough to get the decision.
I think if there's anything that we know Pettis can do, it's let his hands go. So I'll take him by third round decision or third round stoppage.
Oh, a stoppage in the third.
He gets it late. He comes through. He gets wrestled, wrestle effed early, but finds a way to finally get his time down and wear him down.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight.
That's where I see it. All right, moving on. We got Brian Kelly here versus Ode Osborne. I don't know either
Next.
of these guys. I think parking lot 0 again, 19-10-0 versus 7-2-0. It's another gatekeeper type situation where can the Jamaican sensation, that sounds like a bad umbrella drink, versus Boom. Boom is what I made in my pants earlier.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know what I'm gonna do?
I don't want to fight either of these guys. They both make me eat my words, but
they're 135 pounds, so you would probably eat them.
That's possible.
I'm going to take Osborne by submission because I haven't picked a submission.
I'm going to take Boom by decision because I think it's going to be a snore fest. And that's based on actual no knowledge. All right.
All right, we like this guy.
Parking lot, we said 0. We're moving forward.
No.
So now we're into some heavyweights. Now this is a guy, the Crochet Boss, that we did see win a very boring decision in Wichita.
Yeah.
That was not a great fight. Since then, I've seen him fight, and he looked a bit better. Versus Alexei Olenek, the boa constrictor. I mean, this is legit heavyweight stuff we're getting into. Maurice Green's getting up into some real competition. We'll find out if he's more than the alcoholic on the Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if he's got that game. He seems to be an interesting personality, and Alexei Olenek's been around for forever, and I don't see him doing anything more than just... Yeah, say it again, gatekeeper thing. It's like, can Maurice Green actually beat a ranked heavyweight and take it to the next level and put himself where he can start making some money on some pay-per-views?
Does
he's
Olenek really have, what is that, 70 fights?
Have you seen his ears?
Oh, my God. That's a
Actually,
lot.
those look pretty clean for somebody with 70
That's a
fights.
lot
They
of
stick out
fights.
a little bit, but they're not just.
He's got to submit him though. He's got to submit Green. He's got to take him down and submit him. That's how he wins.
Yeah, the biggest thing though is we're a 6'2" fighter versus a 6'7" fighter. Even though their reach, oddly enough, is really close.
It is close.
80 inches to 82. But the height
Green
difference
had
is
20
what-
pounds on him at the weigh-in.
is Olenek just going to lean up against him on the cage, and are we going to be like fighting to stay awake until the next fight is possible? Again, I mean,
I
they
think
might
we're
get
going to
$1
sleep
for a parking lot
Yeah,
fight.
maybe $1 because they're huge.
Yeah,
because
just
they're
to
big
watch
guys.
two big guys, but I'm not.
I
I'm
think
not
the first
seeing it.
round's going to be a complete sleeper. But I do think
Oh, they're feeling each other out.
Yeah.
we got it, Rogan.
I think
Yep.
Green's going to catch him with the knee coming in the second round. I think he's going to get sloppy, take a shot, and Green's going to put a knee on him and follow it with a couple hammers.
I don't hate that. So we both like Green in this fight. We actually like to see.
I don't think it'll be in the
young guy get
first by any means. It'll be a second or third. I'm leaning second just because, but
it. Well, just to be different, I'll say first that he actually puts it
catches
together
him in the first.
and gets it done.
Dude,
So.
that would make me jump out of my seat, which I would welcome after the snore fight that we're probably going to suffer through before that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Holly Holm
This
versus
one-
Rocky Pennington.
This one is fire.
See, I disagree. This gets a $0 on my parking
You don't
lot
want to watch
fight
either
scale.
one of them?
I enjoy Holly Holm's technique, and she came from the boxing world, and she knows how to work on the outside, which is a skill that is completely underrated. The people are like, oh, they're running, they're on their bicycle. When you watched Rocky fight Apollo Creed, did Apollo work fast and on the outside, moving his feet? When you were a kid watching that, I was like, that's what a really talented athlete does in there. He's quick, he moves. Well, she's the same thing. She works on the outside, she picks her shots, she uses her kick like a good jab. And she's able to just keep pumping that leg into Rocky's face.
But you think that
but
she's going to get
she's
smoked?
boring because of it.
Aw.
It's not. There's no entertainment. Her fight where she lost her title against UFC 200.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on
Yeah,
that.
yell at us
I think
later. We'll
Pennington-
put it up on the screen. It'll be right here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out
And
later.
for those listening on the podcast, I'll edit it in, and it won't sound the same when you hear my voice go, and it was so-and-so. You'll know that's what we're
Or you
talking
can
about.
just comment that you knew who it was and you're smarter than us. We're fine.
And we'll be okay with that. We'll give you a electronic
I
high
don't
five.
think Pennington's going to be in a boring fight.
Misha Tate. Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Finally.
Misha.
Pulling
Yeah.
that out of my ass. So that was one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life, where
Yeah.
she basically just out kicked and worked around the outside until she. I don't even know how you get close in the fifth round to let her put you to sleep. But that's what I expect to
Right.
see here. Holly is going to work on the outside.
But you
and
agree
she's
she
gonna
did win
try
the
to-
4 rounds before that.
Of course.
Yeah.
She was even winning the fifth until that happened.
I don't
It
think she's
just
gonna win.
wasn't exciting.
I don't think she's going to win a single round tonight.
We'll see. I mean, Rocky.
She's going to do those little choppy steps that she does.
I don't think Raquel Pennington is the level of athlete that Holly Holm is. I think Raquel Pennington is a true born and bred fighter, and I think Holly Holm is an athlete that learned how to fight. And
Fair enough.
Holly knows how to use footwork and her athleticism to her advantage. I think we get a 5-round, or sorry, I guess it's not a 5-round.
3
There's no
rounds.
belt, so yeah, sorry, 3-round decision.
I think it's going to be a lot. I think Pennington's going to put her against a fence. I think that Pennington's
Well,
going
I
to take
think
her down.
Pennington, that's what Pennington's camp wants. That's what they're going to tell her to
if
do.
she does what she's supposed to win the fight, she's going to take her down 1 to 2 times around. She's going to avoid that head kick, but that head kick is there.
I'm going to say this right now, that Holly Holm and Raquel Pennington's Instagram accounts are far more interesting than this fight's going to be.
Okay, I don't know. I think this fight might be fire.
Hey, this might be one of those we come back and just laugh at my ass afterwards. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, and now for the reason this is a headlining fight on
Who
this
is it?
pay-per-view.
But who's fighting?
It is like, yeah, who is that guy?
Who is that guy?
This is like $100 on the parking lot scale. That's the whole reason this is a headline, even though there's no title on the line. Like they kind of wanted every pay-per-view to be a title fight for the longest time, and now they've realized that, like, we don't have to do that. People just want to watch.
Oh,
we had that BMF title that they
Yeah.
made to try to make it a title. The point is, it doesn't matter. If you will pay to watch these guys fight in a parking lot, you're going to pay for the pay-per-view. And here we are. We're all excited. We're
all of
together
Ireland,
and
all of Ireland's mortgaged their entire homes for this fight. They're ready to go.
And Connor, why he is, this is interesting that it's got the weight on here at 155. This is actually at
way to go,
170.
UFC.com.
Good job
Good
on
job.
the website. No, they don't weigh 155. They weigh 170 for this.
Both of
and
them
it
on
looks
the
like
nose,
Connor
right?
got and it looks like Connor got big enough that he actually had to skip some meals and maybe take
No,
a
he
hot
looked
bath
big.
to be able to make weight for this fight, which isn't the same. The last time we've seen him at 170 when he's fought Diaz.
Did he weigh 170, Diaz? I mean, that might be something to look up. I don't think he came in at 170. I think
He
he was like
might not
168.
have, but it was a soft one, you know.
Yeah,
for Connor,
sure, for sure.
It ain't my soft, but it's real soft.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
for a fighter that is basically we're gonna take this fight and
Your
you're gonna
soft's
do
like
it.
what? Was that like a Nerf ball on the scale?
Yeah,
What is that?
It's yeah. There's footballs out there that are softer than I am. So
Yeah, the Patriots play with them.
yeah. So, no, in this fight, I think we both see it the same way that Connor is going to come in there, and if he touches him in the first 2 rounds,
Yeah, it's not
anywhere in the first 2 rounds. Like
I don't
Donald Cerrone needs to fight like Holly Holm for the first 2 rounds,
Which he won't do.
He needs to stay on the outside.
He
And he
won't do
needs
that.
to kick, and he
No, he
needs
won't do
to
that.
keep distance. If he allows Connor to come in and touch him, it's going to be over. And way he's going to hit him the same way or harder than we saw against Gaethje in that was his last fight, wasn't it? Against Justin Gaethje?
Yep.
Getting knocked out
Yep.
and then hugging him, being like, I ain't retiring. Like,
Oh, no,
dude,
these-
I kind of feel like you need to make this pay-per-view headline money with Connor, and
Yeah, this is
you
a
do what
payday. This is a
Cow-
payday.
Cowboys earned the
Yes.
right to do him.
Give him his
do what
money.
he wants to do.
Give him his money.
But, oh my goodness! Like, can you just?
I think he's
like,
gonna get
go
tagged.
take care of your kid and your beautiful wife and just have a life and
Ride, cowboy,
yeah,
ride.
and go into training. You don't have to get out of fighting. You could, you obviously have a passion for helping other fighters. So,
Does it get out of the first round?
yes, I think it gets out of the first round. Just
Nope.
Man, I'd like to see Connor.
You remember the Jose Aldo fight?
I'd like to see Connor stopped here.
I think
One more person.
no.
I'd love to see like Cerrone choke him out in the third and see him right off in the sunset with a victory and a big load of cash.
You would like to
but-
see that, but do you think that's going to happen? Is Connor going to run out of
No,
gas?
I think Connor's going to touch him early and
Yeah.
it's going to hurt him.
I think he's
And
going to spike him like a viper.
I just hope he doesn't puff up his eye to get out of the fight. Like I'm not 100% sure that was by accident.
Well, Cowboys,
He
he loves the fight.
He knows well enough to not blow his
Yeah.
nose.
He loves
That
the
was-
fight, and he says it over and over. He loves to fight. This is what he loves to do, which is great as long as he can keep doing it. I love
Chuck
watching
Liddell
Cowboys
loves
fight.
fighting too, and he says he's still coming back. Well, you and I both know that's not a good idea.
Yeah, because that, like I said, that picture's not even going to hang up at the Hall of Fame. It's going to get knocked down.
Yeah,
It's
so.
going to be smoked.
All right, well, the fights are going here. We got some ribs that are getting ready to come off the smoker. I think we're going to go
camera
settle
died.
in and drink more beer, and I ain't even worry about that camera at this
Yeah.
point.
Screw
I'll
that
put up a
camera.
picture of us going, yay, with thumbs up on this part.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Um,
looked great.
Yeah, hey, you know what? This is the first time doing this. We sound like the consummate professionals that we really are, but it was fun. I kind of like breaking it down. It's going to make watching these a little more interesting. So
A little skin in the game.
We'll come back after, and we'll see exactly how wrong we are, and shot for total number we get wrong against each other. We're only head to head in like one fight, though, right? Like we kind of picked
Man,
them
we
all
picked
the same.
a lot the same.
Like that is probably.
And I think that if we pick all the snores correct, that should like delete something.
Yeah,
Because I think there's some snores in there. I
We'll
really do.
we'll figure out what we have a penance to pay for.
We're going to have
for,
to keep our company entertained otherwise because, yeah, I don't think those are going to be good.
Yeah, they're not going to be that impressed.
So what are we wagering? You want an ounce per loss?
Ooh, that might be about right.
'Cause how
But
many
wins,
fights did we talk
well,
about?
but wins take you out. You start at zero. You start at zero. Hey, it's all right. The camera's off, so Dash can come in here. Our dog is looking to cause trouble.
Losers got to sleep with Dash.
Well,
Oh wait, I got to
That's-
sleep with Dash anyway.
yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll come back after the fights and see how we did. I have a feeling it's going to be.
A landslide. You lost.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see what how many shots you end up taking there, big guy.
I mean, I'm gonna see how many
All
rounds I got right. All right, man.
All right. This is fun. We'll do it again. See you after the fights. All right.
We recorded.
You need to bring this microphone in front of your face.
Hey, simmer down now.
Way to go, jackass.
I just held it. Corbin, shut up! You're in the gallery. Be quiet.
I think for those that are watching this, need to realize that Justin, broke the mic and should get a penalty pour.
I agree.
And Peanut Gallery agrees.
Pour it.
Agreed.
Pour it.
So the ayes have it. Penalty pour.
Video documentation.
All right. So
Is that an ounce?
now, I don't know what it is, but it's booze in your glass. It wasn't there before.
Disgusting.
Hey,
All
so
right.
welcome back to the after portion of our little trial podcast here. We're
Chaos.
so we watched the MMA pay-per-view that had was headlined by Conor McGregor and Cowboy Cerrone, and
Cowboy Cerrone didn't show up.
well, I mean, he was there. How else did his nose get broke?
Good point.
So,
Fair enough.
but yeah, we want to review the fights and see now after several drinks and see what our predictions, how they stacked up, and call ourselves out for it. Anything that we managed to get wrong, we're going to be pouring a penalty shot in the glasses. Notice we brought big glasses. We might have been wrong a lot.
I feel like there's a lot of penalties coming.
Yeah, my dog Dash is here, and he's kind of. I just saw the camera move because he's chomping around a little bit. Looks like he's going to lay down
No
for a minute.
penalties
Let us
for
get through
Dash.
this. So
No penalties for Dash.
all right, so we totally didn't break this down in the correct order before, but that's
Absolutely
okay.
not.
We were following UFC's website, and if they screw it up, it's not our fault.
Well, they missed weight, so.
So yeah, so starting with the Drew Dober fight.
Next,
Who
moving
has
on.
who has two thumbs
Moving on.
and called that right? This guy.
God. What happened? What happened in that fight, John?
I believe Drew Dober knocked the shit out of the other guy. So yeah, that's. Do you want to pour your own, or do you let me handle it?
you tilt
Okay,
it,
here
you
we go.
tilt it.
So adding to the microphone breakage, there we go. Splasheroonie.
I didn't break the mic, but
I mean, it's working now, so I guess it wasn't broken, but you did definitely rip it off the deal. Okay, so I was right, you were
were
wrong, and that's really the only
what else
other
is there to
thing
talk
that was
about
more
there?
wrong about that fight is I still don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. Hakparast.
you announce it as
I feel like
defeated.
there should be an umlaut there. Yeah,
No.
knocked out, asleep.
yeah, done.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Casualty. Good
So-
for Dober. Hey, listen.
So
Midwest guy,
here's-
fine. I don't like him, but hey.
Well, and I
Midwest guy.
thought he was gonna, maybe use more wrestling, and he just knocked the guy
Yeah,
over with the
just
left hook.
starched him.
So
Cool.
Um,
we like starches. That
next fight is
please.
old Kansas City Tim Elliott.
What
against
happened there?
Askarov. I also
What
picked this one.
happened there?
I picked this one right, but there is absolutely no way that Tim
30,
did not
27.
win. 30-27 all the way across all the cards.
No.
Like, that did not seem right. I
No.
definitely think that Tim could at least have won the second round. But, again, this game is called I win, you lose.
Yeah, no,
And-
I in predictions.
Another shot.
Well, no, hold on, before we start. My prediction was that
No,
Tim
I mean,
Elliott.
I'm pouring while you talk. That's fine. You
God.
take however long you want. Oh boy.
My
That's-
prediction was Tim Elliott would lose the first round miserably.
That happened.
That happened.
That did happen.
Second round,
True story.
I think he turned him on his head at least 3 times. In the third round, I think was a squash. But the judges scored 30-27, which is a complete rob. There is no way.
I mean,
No
they did-
way that it
by
was
by
30-27.
predicting the correct winner. If you call that a robbery, I guess we'll call it a robbery. It was. I mean, I agree that 30-27 seems like a reach,
Yeah.
but robbery is not exactly what I call it.
All right. Well,
all right.
I would feel that way if I was right too. So
Moving
whatever.
on to a fight that we
Yeah.
really didn't know much about, but we kind of expected more of, or maybe not really. But File versus Yusuf, we were maybe hoping that the Nigerian would come out and put on a show, and instead he ate up about 15 minutes of our life. And
He didn't take
it wasn't.
the win.
I mean, he took the win. We were both right, no pores, but it wasn't that entertaining.
No. No.
Macy Barber and Roxanne Modafferi. Now that I am glad to pour into my own
Yeah.
glass. Roxy, way to go. Good job.
Yeah.
I mean, the quote of the year. The quote of the year for UFC might be, "Oh, she has a partially torn ACL. She'll be fine." Like it's the middle of January in 2020, and we might already have the quote of the year coming from the doctor in that. I do not think that a partially torn ACL can just be diagnosed with a couple touchy-feelies while they're
no
sitting in
X-ray.
cage. Well, an X-ray just wouldn't necessarily show it anyway. But
No, he
but
grabbed
apart-
it, pulled it, and popped it, and said, "That's what it is."
Yeah, and you know what? More power to him if he's that good a physician that he can just use the force and tell you. But yeah, that was interesting. Roxy did a great job. Maybe benefited from the injury starting in the second round, but she fought her heart out, which is exactly what we knew she'd come to
We
do.
knew she would do that.
And she couldn't give an interview without stopping 7 times to say, "And let's applaud her and show her." She's just so nice. It is unbelievable.
To a fault. She's nice to a fault.
She is. Her heart is as soft as my midsection. She's bringing the Nerf ball back up. She is a Nerf ball.
I think that's a victory that a lot of UFC and mixed martial art fans we wanted to see it. We didn't think it was going to happen.
I mean, it
But
took
we wanted to see
a
it.
partially torn ACL, but she's
Yeah,
fine.
it took some some severe. I don't know. I don't know how you diagnose that in the ring.
I think somebody's gonna meme that up when Macy Barber hit the ground. Somebody's gonna, what was it, the old John Cena meme where he jumps off the top rope and they go down? That's the way Macy Barber went down at the beginning of the second round. She didn't really go down by anything that Roxanne
She's the
did.
only person I've ever seen that the right hand missed. She grabbed her knee and went to the floor.
Somewhere
I've never
Jerry
seen that.
Lawler's going, "Oh God, did
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
it?"
no,
it's just gonna be amazing.
But I think that there's a ton of fight fans that wanted that win for Roxanne, which
Well, and apparently she's on a 2-fight win streak or something. What was it from Bull
Well, that's
Durham?
news. That's
You
news to
win,
me.
you win 1, it's
Yeah.
a win. You win 2, that's
it's
a streak.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Well,
Speaking,
hopefully she can carry that momentum, and she caught some luck tonight, and she took advantage of it. But she did look good
yeah, she did
in the
what
altercation,
she
she
did what
looked good.
Roxanne did. She cut the hell out of the other girl with a great elbow.
Yeah.
And Roxanne's great on the ground, and that's
Split
what she
that
is.
hairline.
She's terrible on her feet, and unless her opponent partially tears her ACL, it's a
Helps
tough place
out.
for her to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
But if they get on the ground, it's pretty good.
Yeah, she's really good against someone with a flat tire. But hey, take it.
Speaking of streaks, I honestly, we both agreed we didn't do a whole bunch of research coming in this because that's not what we wanted this to be about. I don't know if Anthony Pettis just ended his win streak tonight or he's continued his losing streak. That said, it did not go the way that I expected. Anthony Pettis did not win. Diego Ferreira did manage to get that, and that's been long ago enough that did he knock him out? Did he submit him? What did he do?
It went all.
What does it say? What old Sherdog say here? Oh, it says rear naked choke. Oh, there we
that's
go.
right. That's
round
right.
2, rear naked.
That's right. He got his back in the second round against the cage.
Which way did you pick it? Did you pick Pettis?
So I said that Ferreira would win on a controversial decision.
Oh,
But I said he would win.
yeah, that's all we're going. We're not trying to get totally.
I said he'd win.
faced,
I
so-
didn't
Yeah.
think there'd be a tap. No.
All right. so-
Actually, I don't think I picked a submission, but one in a fight that I didn't know anything about all night.
So the next
Definitely wasn't that one. I thought that was going to be a strikers fest.
the next fight, according to
Did that happen? Did this fight happen?
okay, so the Odie
Oh, it did.
Osborne versus Brian Kelleher.
Yeah,
that
Kelleher
was the
won.
Jamaican versus the
Yeah.
bomber.
Yeah.
And
You took the bomber because you like the name.
no, just because I knew nothing and I wanted to go opposite of you. But hey, it paid off because Bomber actually did get the win, even though Odie came out looking quite strong with the flashy,
His first round was pretty
kicks
good.
and stuff. Yeah, you know,
His
it's,
first round was pretty good.
um,
Well, you know, it's.
I mean, he lost in the first round, so I don't know how his first round could be that pretty good.
Well, I mean,
but
oh,
but,
he was-
but
he
yeah,
was-
I mean
he
his first 60
Hey,
seconds looked
hey,
good. Yes,
listen,
okay.
listen to an old runner. Jamaicans come out fast. They sprint. Yeah, he didn't get there.
Yeah,
He didn't
he
get
did.
there.
He did.
didn't
It
get
didn't
there.
work.
No,
it didn't work.
He was
He
running.
did not. He did not go
No.
full Usain Bolt.
No,
like he
he
didn't
was-
come out with the win.
Uh-uh.
He's more like that runner that was waving the crowd up before the finish
Yeah,
line
pumping
and
and got
passed.
beat. That's right.
Yeah,
he
no,
was.
don't do that.
He was running the 100, and it was about a 1,500 meter race. He got interesting finish.
All right.
A very technical fight. I wish I'd have paid more attention.
The technical fight where you were technically wrong.
Yeah,
That is where that was.
So when does the drink come in?
Well, we got to fill up the
Well, it
glasses.
comes in when it gets topped off. There,
We-
crowd.
He's,
So
we're,
how
we
many calories do it?
this is penalty time here. You gotta settle the complete score before you.
Fair enough.
Shut up.
Alexia Olenek, Maurice Green. We both get some pours on this.
No,
It did
I don't
not-
think anybody. I don't think anybody should pour on this at all, because Maurice Green should screw off.
Is it not open?
Well, just it has a time limit. I gotta figure that shit out.
What are we monkeying around with the camera? God,
Says red light.
thank you, Dominic Cruz.
Well, you know, our equipment here hasn't exactly caught up to our spirit. Speaking of spirits, we got to pour this out. All right, we both had Maurice Green. We're both wrong.
Will you look at these glasses?
That is,
We're
yeah.
not doing this again. This is a one. This is a one and done. Maurice
It's just
Green.
Southern Comfort, you know.
Oh, it says 100 proof.
Yeah,
right there.
yes, it does. I don't know how this is gonna go. I might go grab that Sprite.
Yeah.
We'll just fill
Can we-
these up
can
with
we
some
top
ice and
this
make.
with something?
We might have to drink this, but it is a.
When you
a
pour it
penalty.
into a pint glass like that, it's really perspective.
Well,
By the way,
I-
Yankee Tank Brewery. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know, maybe we'll get
Yeah.
them on as a product sponsor.
Yeah,
if nothing
Dave,
else.
Sean, if you're watching this, get some likes.
They're
Let's
not
do it.
watching this. let's be
I'm
honest.
telling you, watch it.
So,
no, I don't want to talk
Maurice,
about Green.
Maurice Green.
No.
Maurice Green just looked like awful. Like it was. Can he show up and be the next level? It turns out not even close.
He could have sat. He could have sat out of that twice.
It was not.
It was not. There was not enough time, and there was opportunity to sit out of that.
Oh wait, did we miss this on the last fight? Was Odie the one that tapped out with his foot? He tapped out with his foot. We didn't talk about that. We
Oh.
got to go back.
We're coming back to that.
We gotta circle back.
We gotta circle back to that.
Tapped out with his foot.
No, we're not. We're on it now.
That
You're not
is-
circling back. You're
That
on
is
it now.
that is the damnedest thing I've seen in quite a while in the
Yeah,
octagon.
he tapped out with his foot.
That I mean, so are you going to sleep or do you have the wherewithal to tap out with your foot? I
No,
feel like
he-
you can't have both of those things.
No, he tapped out with his foot like Snoopy at a dance. He was.
I
like-
mean,
he was on it.
he
He
was-
was pounding it.
he was Fred Astaire with that thing. He was
Yeah.
just like, I want out of this fight
Dude, he hit that
right
net.
now.
He hit the skin so many times. Neil Peart would have been proud.
He-
He was hammering it.
He that spin kick missed, and he was like, "Oh, I'm screwed. How am I gonna get out of this?" And yeah.
That was a bizarre fight. That's
Foot
not,
tap.
I already got my. No, we're not going.
Well, no,
back to that.
we both got.
I do love the fact that he tapped out with his foot.
That was pretty special. I mean,
No,
that.
I mean,
You know, on a fight where we already had partially torn ACL, she's fine. We also had the foot tap. That's something that we need to remember as UFC fans going forward.
Yeah, maybe we should just call this foot tap.
All right, so
I'm
Holly
done
Holm.
talking about Green. You're done talking about Green?
There was nothing there.
That was a
It
huge disappointment. I feel like,
We're both drinking. It's
I mean, I feel like
he's done.
UFC was trying to get him to get that rise.
The next time we see him will be in somewhere like Berlin, Germany, on a 3 a.m. ESPN
no, the next
Plus
time you and I
card.
see him would be in Topeka, Kansas.
Well, that might be. He
or
might be mad if he
Independence,
watches this,
Missouri.
but you know what? He crochets and donates to charity. He seems like an all right guy.
Well, he lost to a guy that had 70 fights.
Yeah, lost
mean-
to an old dude with the same bald spot I got. The 70
Oh,
fights.
he was breathing hard too.
Oh, he was gassed by the end of the first round,
I
just
just-
trying to choke him out, and he looked like he's ripe for the picking.
No,
Yet
I mean,
Maurice,
I don't want my arm locked up like that because I'm sure that did hurt. But
look,
it's like
let's,
12 seconds from like.
let's be honest
out
here.
of it.
What you're really doing at this point is you're stalling. Because
Yeah,
you
no, I
don't
wanna
want to
get the
get
next
to the
fight.
Holly Holm Rocky Pennington
No, I
fight.
don't. All right,
because
fine.
because
I thought
we-
this fight would be fire.
when we talk about pores,
Jesus.
pouring it out for your homies, this is what I'm doing for you, my friend.
Oh.
Because you were completely wrong with
Dude, that is not even close to a shot. That's like, all right.
yeah. Well, hey, be right more often. That's all I can tell you, bud. I mean, I got a glass.
Do
here
I get
too.
to pour some of this back for the? Okay, fine. Fine.
The Holly Holm Rocky Pennington fight was booed multiple times by the fans in attendance because it was bad, just like all Holly's fights are. She actually went against what I was saying and decided to take the fight to the cage. Her approach was, I'm just going to press her up against
Yeah.
the cage
Yeah.
and hold her there. And I mean, I would have actually rather seen her on the bicycle throwing some kicks and dancing around.
was a bizarre-
We would have seen something.
I think
But
I think it was a bizarre fight.
it-
She spent a lot of it leaning against the cage.
It
You
wasn't
would think
good.
that she'd want to control distance. She would want to.
You would think against an opponent that should be inferior to her, like Raquel Pennington.
You
would
think
that she
you think
would-
inferior. I thought Pennington was going to win from the go.
Well, that's why you got booze. I just don't think that Holly is that interested in putting on a show. She's interested in getting the win.
Sure.
And in the boxing world with points and things, I think that's it can be a honest way to try to go about business.
Right.
In the UFC world, where you're the co-main, it
No,
just
you gotta
doesn't do
show.
anything.
You
It gets
gotta
you
show.
booed.
Yeah,
It
you
gets
got to
you
show.
booed.
Yeah. Just like I got to drink. That's a lot of liquid.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's not.
All right,
That's
last fight of the night.
Yeah.
It went exactly the way we thought. We both
Boom.
had Connor. We both had him doing it quick. We both were cheering for Cowboy. But oh my goodness, did Donald Cerrone not fight the fight that he needed to survive? He got
Another camera.
yeah. We're still
We're
recording
over it.
this. There ain't anything. Camera broke again. It's not a problem. It's
All right.
either full of card or whatever. It
Well, I don't
doesn't
need him to look at me to know
Yeah.
this. Connor knocked him out.
Well, Connor,
Knocked him out.
let's not shy away from the fact that Connor threw shoulders in the clinch
Yeah.
and busted his nose
Yeah.
and blackened his eye.
Yeah, like Vanderlei Silva back in the Pride days, just throwing his shoulders.
And at the point where Cowboy was probably like trying to get the water out of his eyes from having a busted nose.
Yeah, it was cracked.
Which, that's what, 2 out of the last 3 fights he's had a broken nose, because that's how his eye got all puffed up, was a broken nose too.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
Maybe they need to find a different surgeon. I don't know.
Oh no, that nose is
That-
cracked.
That thing shifted sides. Donald was trying to gather himself and then got head kicked to sleep, and it was the
Can
exact.
we talk about how many significant strikes Donald Cerrone threw?
No, we can't because he didn't land
Oh,
any.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
why
that's what
I don't
happened.
I don't even know if you have to go significant strikes. I think if you just go at strikes, there's one leg kick
He
right
didn't even
before he
need to-
got knocked out.
He didn't even
that-
need to put gloves on.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
it was like he
I
didn't need to
told
wrap
you-
his hands.
I told you it was
He
a
didn't need
Jose Aldes situation. He was going to
Connor
start you.
Connor didn't need a cup.
Nope.
Like they just
Nope.
they went out there and he was a piñata, and it was really for a couple guys that are big fans of Cowboys, like most people out there.
I love Cowboy.
I think that we both.
But I knew that was going to happen when he signed the fight.
we both realized that it wasn't the only thing ideal for Cowboy with this fight was the numbers that were going into
payday.
his bank account.
Yeah, the payday.
That was it. And so you
Good for
realize
you. Get paid.
yeah, you realize it was exactly what you signed up for when you bought the pay-per-view. It was Connor's going to come back at 170 and be a murder death kill.
Yep.
And Cowboy is going to be the financial beneficiary, but man, I was hoping for a little bit of a show.
No,
we got
I
no
expected
show.
nothing. I expected nothing in a show.
We got
Nothing.
90 seconds of, honestly, that fight wasn't even, it was over before 90 seconds. Herb Dean decided this time, even though he couldn't give Robbie Lawler a little extra
Yeah,
time,
no,
he decided
he
that
left
this
it a
time
bit.
he's going to give it a moment.
Yeah.
And wow, we saw
Well,
Cowboy
I-
take a couple punches, and he gets up smiling.
Yeah, I
and
think Donald.
and
I
ready
think
to
Donald
fight.
took a hurting, but I think that he'll. I mean, despite what I think Herb Dean's late stoppage, I think he's gonna be okay. I mean, he's gonna
Well-
respond. He's gonna fight. It's Cowboy. He'll fight tomorrow
Hey,
if
again,
the UFC lets him.
that same ESPN Plus card in Germany at 2 a.m. that Maurice Green's going to be on is
No,
going to be
Maurice-
headlined
Maurice
by
Green is
one
not gonna be
Cowboy
on that card.
Cerrone. He's going to be headlined. It's going to be headlined
Well,
by
what's next-
Cowboy
what's next for
because
Conor?
he's still got he'll still draw eyeballs. It's just not going to be against top competition. If Cowboy wants to keep fighting, he'll get a couple of more fights. There'll be a point where the UFC is not going to give him any more. It may not be full out BJ Penn level, but
Ooh.
there's a
Easy.
point. There's a point where
He'll headline.
you got to
He'll
do
head-
Cowboy a favor and be like, I think it's time for you
No.
to just be a training and focus on
But
BMF
no,
ranch.
he has officially moved to gatekeeper. He will be a the last fight on a prelim
If he's gatekeeper
for the rest of his life.
then Connor was the key master. That's for damn sure.
Well, you don't. I don't think you want to fight that dude. What's next for Connor? I don't think you want to fight that dude. 170, 155, 135, whatever that crazy nut wants to do.
Well, I don't know. I don't think either of the guys that they're most likely for
Who's
Connor as the
next?
next fight are people that have the same glass jaw that Cowboys developed over the
careful. Calling Cowboy with a glass jaw. I don't know
Have
about
you
that.
watched his last 4 fights?
But who's going to go next? All that really matters is who's next.
I think
I don't think
if we're
Conor stays at
chasing paydays,
170.
it seemed like Connor after the fight in his comments were talking about the fact that really he doesn't feel like he's ready to just go for a title yet. That he's still trying to
But
do
he
some
said
work
he was
at
comfortable
170.
at 170.
So I think he wants to stay at 170, and so who's the people in front of him at 170? Well, it seems like, hey, you don't feel like you've announced yourself for a title fight, which means you're not ready to get wrestle effed around again by a Kumara Usman. You got,
I like that fight. I like Connor and Usman.
Well, I mean, I think that goes very similarly to how he lost to Khabib. I don't think he feels his wrestling game is there to go after Usman
Sure.
with the next fight. That's why he wants another good payday with the BMF champ himself.
Well,
Let's see him get in
I-
there
I
with
think-
Masvidal
I think
and
that
mix it up
him
and have
and
another
Masvidal-
good strike fight at 170.
him and
and
Masvidal is a great fight, but
They
I
both
think,
want it. They both love fight headline pay-per-views and
But
getting
do
paid.
we not have enough to do? Why don't we just do the Connor Khabib rematch?
He would have to go back to 155
So
to do that, and I
So?
don't think the way Connor seemed tonight and the size that he's put on for 170, I don't think he really wants to do that. That didn't seem to be what he was
he
saying
wants
afterwards.
that fight. Oh, he wants that fight. Connor settles his debts. Say what you want about him. He settles his debts.
Yeah, he writes checks to bus companies and everything.
That's
so,
right. He's gonna go get him.
I don't see it. I
don't think it's the
don't.
next fight, but I think he's gonna go down.
I don't think it's until he gets done with winning a belt that he goes after it. I think
You think he wants a belt first?
I think he wants a belt first, and I think now
taking the belt
if he
from
feels
Usman is
good
going to be a tough draw.
Well,
I think that him and Usman's fight, whether there's another fight in between or whatnot, is interesting. But I think, Conor and Usman's an interesting fight.
I think it's the same issue that he's got with Khabib as far as going with a guy that can be dominant on the ground. I mean, Usman won the belt by dominating Tyron Woodley,
Sure.
and then turned around and defended it against a machine of a cardio guy and wrestler in Colby Covington.
Colby.
That honestly, I just don't see Conor being able to stack up against right now.
So why don't we just do the polars and let's do Conor and Colby? And if Conor handles Colby, which I think he would, then you do Usman. Then you let Conor decide if he wants to go down for Khabib, or they meet in the middle.
Well, I think that's an interesting idea. I think it's something.
It's been a minute since UFC's had a catchweight fight that meant something.
I think because of all the political rhetoric that goes into things, that if they were going to strike on that, now UFC is obviously a international sport. It goes well beyond United States politics. But if they were going to cash in on a Conor versus Colby Covington and talk all the smack and everything, doing it late summer heading into the election season with Colby, with bringing in. Well, hey, they bring Donald Trump in for the fights. They bring in Trump Jr. and what's his face that looks like I don't know Beavis and Butthead. The sitting, they're gonna sit they're gonna sit by the octagon, and it's gonna be prime theater for America to see this. So I think if they're going to go that way, it does kind of make sense that you're gonna see Colby Covington try to avenge his last loss by going after somebody.
Hold on. I love that Colby Covington got into this discussion.
Well, you brought him up.
Well, unintentionally, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, hey, we're talking.
He's a good fighter.
We're
He's
talking about what fights make
polarizing.
sense at 170, and
well,
if
we don't get to make the fights at 170, which is unfortunate. But
that's
I think that's
the whole thing
interesting.
about, like, hey, do we want to listen to two guys that talk a lot of smack, that are very polarizing,
Sure.
that are controversial in their own
Sure.
separate ways, fight and draw a pay-per-view in August, like
in Ireland?
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Let's
mean,
do it.
goodness.
I don't know. Conor said
I feel
over
like
and
it
over
could be
that he
something
wants
pretty
to fight.
crazy.
He said over and over he wants to fight Khabib in Moscow, which
I just feel like after this,
How
going
many-
back to
dude,
155 for that.
you said, what did you say earlier? If we're gonna do Rocky references,
Yeah, no.
Conor goes, "I'm leaving Ireland. I'm going to Moscow."
He's gonna jump around with the
gonna
ox
carry-
yoke,
yeah,
the
the
oxen yoke
ox yoke
on his
carrying
shoulders,
hay wagons and
yeah.
whatever. I don't know. That sounds fascinating to me. It sounds fascinating.
I think
Is that the next fight to make? I don't know, because you just fought at 170. I think it's crazy.
Conor-
I think it's crazy to back up. I think it's crazy to just fought at 170.
I think Conor realizes that he's not ready yet. Out of the last 2 years,
He's not ready for what though?
Out of the last 2 years, how many minutes has he actually fought? He's fought 90 seconds in an octagon.
Yeah,
in the last 2 years.
Because he's that good.
There's
Arguably, he's that good.
it's possible.
He starches people, dude.
It's
Starches them.
It's definitely possible that he's that good. It's also possible that when he says he needs more fights to get ready for a title run, he means it. The question is then,
I get that. I think he's a guy with a plan.
Does Masvidal make sense because Masvidal wants to fight I'm sure Connor loves the payday.
Well,
and
Masvidal
loves all
wants to
that.
get paid. Let's be
Well, yeah.
let's be straight.
Hey, if it makes dollars, it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel
what
like
do you think? So let's just let's simplify it. What do you think Masvidal and Connor? What do you make of that? I mean, you're talking about two guys that get off quick.
I make the same prediction that Masvidal made
Violence?
for the fight tonight. Violence. I feel
That's a
like,
great cop out. I love it. All right.
No, I mean it's
Violence who?
you have somebody that was small that came up to 170 versus a guy that's a natural 170.
I
of
would
them-
question that.
Both of them have power. Both of them have skill. Both of them have shown us stuff.
Both of
in
them
the past
are
year.
extremely quick.
Well, and they both have shown us odd and interesting takes to the fighting craft with the coming out with the knee against Afro Man. I can't remember.
Ben Askren.
Ben Askren,
hey,
yes.
Hey, Mizzou grads. That's another loss on your ass.
He puts Ben Askren out with
Yeah.
with
How
the quick
cold.
knee.
That
And-
dude is still trying to wake up from that. He's in
I mean,
retirement.
retired.
Yeah.
And you have that followed by what Connor did with the shoulder today. Just again, completely creative.
Dude, that's some like 1997 Pride shit. That was awesome.
I feel like it's a good. That's a solid. Even though it's not for a title, I guess you could put the
No,
BMF
it's for a
title
title.
on
It's a
the line.
BMF title.
That is worthy. It is worthy.
I don't think that's next though.
I just think that if they don't want to do that one next, that the Covington fight makes a lot of sense for the amount of trash talk and promo that they can pour into it. The problem is that going to be international because UFC needs to sell fights around the world.
That would position Connor for like a legit.
title.
For
legit title at 170 going against Usman that he took out.
Nah, they're not gonna. They're not gonna
recent.
do that fight. But I like that. I like what you said there.
It's
I would watch that for sure, dude. The back and forth between those two would be fantastic.
No, the problem with that fight is I might be more interested in the press conferences leading up to it than the fight itself.
Yeah, no, the fight I wouldn't care about.
I
No.
mean, I
Well,
would
I mean,
tune
'cause
in
let's
for the
be
stare
honest.
downs
The
every
fight-
single time.
The fight either ends in 90 seconds or 5 rounds. There's no in between.
I mean, there's a good argument for that. So,
No, Connor starches him or it goes 5 rounds. But you know,
right. Well,
I'm sure Kobe's got an opinion. I don't want to drink that.
I feel like we need a little ice and a little 7. Our glasses. So the camera quit working,
Whew.
and we've got
God
Southern
bless
Comfort poured in our
America.
gases. I've got about I don't know 1.25 inches in mine, and so if these are pint glasses, and your glasses. I mean, it's not half full, but it's a third full. You got that's a solid. What
a
are we?
lot
3
more than a
fingers?
shot.
Is that 3 fingers?
That's 4 fingers if you're fat.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. My hand's pretty big, but so that's a 2.5 fingers. I
You
got.
know what they say about big hands?
Yeah, well, ask
Big
my
gloves.
wife. Yeah, that's my wife.
She's asleep.
Yeah, she's smart. She got away from us. All right. So that being said, we're gonna take a swig of this to make it honest.
We're going to do it. Cheers to winning, losing, and in between. Way to go, Connor.
Oh, that hurt. I see booze. Your glass ain't empty, son.
Neither's my heart.
That's burning still. Oh, it burns. I think I feel the inside of my sternum.
Is that what that part's called?
Yeah. The esophagus. Oh,
We're going to
goodness.
do that with something a lot softer next time.
I don't know. Can you get softer than Southern Comfort and still make it a penalty? I feel like that's kind of what that is.
Well, I don't know, bro. That's 100 proof nonsense. That is. Oh, that was a.
Should we take?
I know how Cowboy feels.
I'm gonna
right
chug.
now.
I'm gonna chug some aspirin next.
Yeah. Next on the list, crushed up ibuprofen.
All right. Well, hey, we thank you for tuning in. If we put this out, we you listen this far to get to the end of the after portion.
You
We
didn't
appreciate-
listen this far. You are not still listening.
You were either family or got paid, or you fell asleep and then woke up and it was still going.
Hey.
You're like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because we're Rumpelstiltskin over here.
That's right.
And our beard's just growing and we're still talking.
That's
but
right.
we thank you for checking it out. We actually had quite a bit of fun bringing it to you.
Absolutely.
We'll try to get better at this and do something a little bit more structured next time.
He'll try
but-
to get better. I'm doing
well,
this.
somebody's got to be in control of things. And
Well, that
Ooh.
would be you, my man. Yeah.
Southern
How's that
comfort.
feel?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Still on fire. In fuego.
Woo, in fuego.
I'm gonna need to find the cool side of the pillow.
Violence. What are you What are you predicting for the next after show? Violence.
What are my prediction for my bathroom coming up? Violent upheaving. Oh goodness. So, all right, we'll see you all next time.
Corbin,
This is
you got
Jonathan
anything
and
to say?
Hodge.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got
nope,
nothing?
got nothing. We're
Hey.
done.
Love you. Bye.
Next time.